Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. Happy Friday Eve, my dear. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thanks for being here tonight. Where are you logging in from, my dear?
Breck?
Oh, you're in Jersey.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Are you in Jersey?
I am as well. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
good.
Nice day today, huh?
Oh, yeah. A
And
little windy, but
yeah. But I think you need it because it's so hot. I don't know if the wind,
yeah,
without that wind, it's pretty
yeah.
boiling outside today. So, yeah. Thank you so much for joining. We're just going to give like another minute or two and see if we get a few others. We have about 46 registered,
Oh, wow.
but it doesn't mean they're coming live. Usually a lot of people catch the recording, so I'll just give a few more seconds here. And while I have you, your first name, my dear, so I see Hope
Mary.
and Mary. Oh, Mary, you were emailed. There we go. Okay, I have a face to Mary now. Got it. Wonderful. Okay. All right, well, it's about 7:02. Let me just get the screen share going here and then we'll see. That should take a few seconds. Very good. Would you mind to just let me know if that came through?
I do see it, yes.
Super. Okay, great. All right, well, I'll get going here and get us started just to be aware and conscious of everyone's time. And we know that is limited and valuable. So, thank you for joining, Mary, and those who do join in live here this evening. If you do jump in and we're in the call, just chime in. Feel free to interrupt at any point in time. This is much more of a good conversation than a strict presentation. And for those of you who will watch the recording, I hope you will get some value out of the presentation as well. I'm certain you will. But do know that you can reach me anytime after, or if you have any questions while you watch the recording. So today we're here because really we're going to talk about our food and perhaps some choices that we might be making that may be misleading to us. And really the reason I'm here is because I see it all the time. I'm a wellness coach. I lead group fitness classes as well. So I see mostly women. This audience today is mostly women, 40s and 50s. And I see us pushing through. We're pushing. We don't get the results. We're starving ourselves. And then we're still, I'm still hearing like I'm gaining weight. So I think especially at 40 and 50, right, our female body is going through some changes. The body needs nutrients now more than ever. Like we really need to focus on what are we actually getting out of our food because that's where we get our nutrients from. And the truth is like our bodies, they're such a beautifully designed system. They have the ability to perform, they have the ability to heal. But a lot of that comes from nutrition. Comes from breath too, but a lot from nutrition. And the ultimate thing is like really, I mean, I don't know a lot about cars, but I certainly know that if someone gave me a Lamborghini and I had to fill it the gas tank, I am putting premium gas in that Lamborghini. I'm certainly not putting regular unleaded gas because I know whoever owns that Lamborghini is going to have a problem. So it's the same way. Like we got to work with our engines, and honestly, we're all driving Lamborghinis. So let's fuel them with the right stuff. And so that's what we'll talk a little bit about today. And just to give you a little background on myself. So my name is Christine. Obviously, you figured that part out, right? But I'm Italian, Irish American. I'm from Staten Island originally, but I'm a Jersey girl now. I live in Jersey a long time. I love traveling. I love experiencing cultures. I was always kind of a big fan of all things wellness. And then really just I love to spread joy. So hopefully you'll feel a little bit of that today. I've been in corporate marketing for the last 20 years, and of the last five of which I led the healthcare division for a safety business in the Americas. And so basically, I was part of the big five that went to all of the government meetings, the FDA called meetings to bring in PPE during COVID. I also led a 4-hour allocation call during COVID every day. So, needless to say, I led myself right into a burnout. And so that kind of shifted where my focus what has been in the last couple of years. but I've always had a passion for health. As I mentioned, as a child, I was active, always climbing, playing, always outside. In my 20s, I ran marathons, urban athlons, flipped all the tires, did all that fun stuff. But my nutrition didn't really always match. I mean, if I'm being honest about it, at the time I thought it did, right? But now I can look back and honestly say, no, my nutrition really didn't match the amount of effort I was really doing. And then in my 30s, I traveled a lot more internationally, both from a professional perspective and a personal perspective. So I started to eat a lot more local foods, a lot of different foods from around the world, and experience cultures, etc. My sister, she lives in London, so she moved there around 12 years ago now. And so just going back and forth, and then I even married a Frenchman, so I was in France a lot, and etc. etc. And you eat really good food. That is the one thing. I later divorced him. I went on my own healing journey, and I did have to divorce myself from the French food as well, which was excellent. But there's a lot to that. It taught me a lot. The French make their food with a lot of love. There's a lot of emotion that goes into the food. So it really did kind of open your eyes to say it's a lot more to this than some of the things that I'm used to, right, in my everyday life growing up in New York, New Jersey area. Anyway, that was 6 years ago. Not really looked back since, and I've done a lot of work since then, self work. But I became a yoga instructor, wellness and nutrition coach now, NASM certified, and then I started my business, and I'm the founder of Pure Vita Wellness. But all the while I'm doing that, I'm old. As I'm getting older, my health keeps improving, and my health markers keep improving. So really what it is this is really truly embodied work that I want to share, right? This is like I did my own guinea pig work. But anyway, this isn't about me. So more about, let's have some fun. Let's start here. Let's go here. Let's go to a little bit of fun. So as I mentioned, I spent 10 years in medical device marketing. I was responsible for class one medical device, which is a strictly regulated FDA environment. So basically, I was the girl that was deciding what the box would say. That was my role. I had to work on the regulatory, say, how far can I push this claim? Can I say this? No, you can't say that. Okay, how about if I spin it this way? Can I say this? Bingo, you got that. So I was this girl. I was negotiating. So it's interesting to see now how that relates to food. So I want to just have a little fun with you. You have a Pepsi can on the left. We want to take this Pepsi can. Now I'm going to give you the same Pepsi. We're not going to change what's inside. We're just going to completely change the positioning of this Pepsi can. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to make it black. I'm going to make it a matte black. Why? Because right now, matte black is sexy. What's the Tesla trucks, right? Everybody wants a black matte car. I don't know why, but that's apparently sexy. So we're going to make this a black matte because that's the new thing. First we need a logo, right? Obviously we need that. We're not going to get rid of our Pepsi logo. Now, let's call it Hydrate Plus because we need something unique, something different. And of course, the main ingredient is carbonated water. So Hydrate Plus, fine. Naturally flavored, yes, because it's water. 100% plant-based, again, main ingredient, carbonated water. Hello, dear. Thanks for joining us. Just lovely to have you. I'm going to keep going here, but just chime in if you have any questions or if we go too fast. I'm doing a quick demo here on a Pepsi can and how marketing can take an ordinary Pepsi can, which we all know, the blue and red Pepsi can, and we're going to turn it into something different. So we started with the logo, naturally flavored Hydrate Plus. Let's continue. So we're going to recognize it now. We're going to switch the category. It's not just a can of soda anymore. This is a premium sparkling cola. And I can say that legally from a marketing department. This is no issue. I can call this a premium sparkling cola. Now, again, we're going to say main ingredient, always water, because we want this to be a healthy version of a Pepsi can. Now we're going to add smooth taste, clean energy. Why not? Let's keep going. Fat-free, gluten-free, low sodium, because technically it is all of these things. So now your regular Pepsi that we're used to seeing, and we know what's inside that dark brown caramel color soda, is now turned into this healthy hydration premium cola. There's nothing that changed inside this can. We just changed the marketing and the branding and positioning. And so every one of those claims that you see is technically legally accurate, but completely misleading you, right? Like you're going to pick that up and think I'm getting hydrated, plus I am drinking a sparkling water. Yeah, that's not what you're getting. But this is how messaging works. And this is really how this happens. Actually, since I've done this demo, I have seen Pepsi's now come out with a new version. It's a healthy cola. So watch out because they are, I already seen that coming, but it's really happening now. And that's just what marketing can do. And what we're going to talk about today is that the claims can be technically true, but they're just omitting context. So there's no one at fault here. No one's doing anything wrong. We're just trying to see through that a little bit so that we can understand more on the health side. Because what us as consumers, we look at this as the health benefit. But this is marketing language, but we assume that's health benefit. And that's what lies the problem. That's where the problem lies, right? Health benefits versus marketing. So I want to go through a couple examples with you guys. Let's take a look at this box. So you have Cheerios, 100% whole grain. What is the health claim? Feel free to go off and move. What is the health claim Cheerios is making? What are they saying? Can you see that?
That they only have 2 grams of sugar
Two
per
grams of
serving.
good observation. We're trying to figure out how does that affect your health? So where's the claim on here that's actually saying something that's going to impact your health?
That it can help lower your
Your
cholesterol.
cholesterol. Yeah.
That's it. That's it, ladies. So the lower cholesterol is the health claim because the 2 grams of sugar, that's just a factual statement, right? Okay, there's 2 grams of sugar in here. It's a good observation and a very good answer. But the claim they're making is that this product is going to lower your cholesterol. So that's where we want to stay focused. Now, how does this happen? How can Cheerios say that they can lower your cholesterol? I want to show you guys something because this is really kind of big picture view. But this goes back to in 1938, the government said no dice on any food manufacturer. You cannot put any health claims on your packaging. Basically, what they were saying is if you have any words on the box that imply that your product prevents, treats, or reduces the risk of a disease, that makes your product a drug, and drugs require a completely different approval process. So FDA prohibited that. Only thing food manufacturers could claim is claims that were not involved with your health, right? Now, distinction here, this is talking about packaged food. So like apples and broccoli are excluded from this conversation. They don't need claims, right? So what happens next? 1941, because we're on the Cheerios example, we'll follow this through. Cheerios comes out in 1941. Now it's invented as a children's breakfast, right? It's a cereal for children. It's marketed as a children's breakfast. You have little superheroes. And they also found a little bit of a loophole when they invented Cheerios. They came out with it also could be a delicious snack. Like it came out as a snack food too for children, but they could have it for breakfast or they could snack during the day. Those are the markets they were trying to serve. That's 1941. Almost 50 years later, and that was how Cheerios went by. It's a kid's food, just delicious munching, nothing to do with cholesterol. 1990, President Bush signed the Nutrition Labeling and Education Act. Huge, huge food labeling legislation hadn't happened in over 50 years. And that legislation said that every packaged food has to have the nutrition labels or nutrition facts label. Nutrition facts, right? So it had to have the what is in this, what is in the nutrition. In addition, that act that they passed, it opened the door and it allowed, for the first time, authorized health claims on food packaging. That's when the US food system and food supply changed. That's the food supply that we now have today. Before that, very different. From 1990 on, you began to begin to claim health benefits. So 1993, the FDA approved the first 7 claims. Like there was a claim cholesterol and heart disease. Those two were correlated. You can claim if you can lower cholesterol, heart disease. Now, cholesterol and heart disease was part of it, but General Mills, very smart, very business savvy. If I was in the marketing department, I'd say well done. Right? They petitioned to have their own particular claim that said the soluble fiber was from whole oats, and they were the only cereal on the market with whole oats. So they claimed the market that they could claim that their cereal lowered cholesterol. That's what they put in for the FDA. They put in a petition to get that approved. And in 1997, they got it approved. They had 33 studies, 21 showed benefit, 12 showed no benefit. That's all it took. 33 studies, 21 showed benefit, 12 did not. And now Cheerios from 1997 became that heart health product that we know today, right? Following so far? Good. So, what is it true, right? Does it lower your cholesterol? I mean, that's what we're here for. What's all this mean, Christine, right? Okay, we see what you get on the box, but like let's differentiate. So first of all, there's a lot of context to this claim, right? A lot of context. Can help lower cholesterol. First word is can. In a marketing term, that claim equally cannot. There's a 50-50. It's a crapshoot. Your choice, it can, it cannot. Those are what we get out of like, that's really not a claim. Then help lower cholesterol as part of a healthy heart healthy diet. That's a marketer's term for basically this is a precondition. We have nothing to do with this. So if you're doing all these other things, you can lower your cholesterol, eat cereal too. Is the cereal going to lower the cholesterol? Well, first we need to look at this fiber situation that they're talking about, right? Soluble fiber is what Cheerios is claiming because soluble fiber is the kind that binds and how you can use it as a lever for cholesterol. And dietary fiber overall, no, because most of dietary fiber is passing through. That's the point. It's trying to push through the body. The soluble fiber has that binding mechanism. So in their claim, they said that there's a threshold of 3 grams soluble fiber per day. If you reach that threshold, you'll reduce your cholesterol. Cheerios gives you 1 gram. So yeah, one of the 3 that you need to lower cholesterol, it's giving you, right? So great, 1/3. So yeah, it's going to give you something, but it's a small bump, very small bump. Then you're getting 1 gram of soluble fiber. So again, 1/3 of the threshold to lower your cholesterol per the claim. In a day, you need 6 to 8 grams of daily soluble fiber. So 1 out of the 6 to 8 is minimal. And your total fiber for the day, not soluble, but total fiber, 25 grams. So again, we're barely touching the surface, right? This gets a little complicated, but a little deeper is it's cholesterol. I'll just take it back a second. Cholesterol involves LDL and HDL, your high, low cholesterol. You want LDL low, HDL high, and you want your triglycerides low to manage your cholesterol. So this is saying lower cholesterol. It's only claiming it on LDL. That's fine because that's all we can do. It's all we can. That's the only lever we have. Excuse me. So we're going to look at fiber, the added sugar, and the saturated fat because those things are going to tell us what is really happening in this product. Now here, they're kind of all good. They're low. Cheerios as a whole grain, plain Cheerios is not a bad processed food item. Low, it's not going to help solve your cholesterol problem just by eating Cheerios. That's a fact, right? But they're going to claim that so that we can sell more. Now, I want to get this a little more interesting. And by the way, jump in if there's any questions so far. I want to keep going and make it a little more interesting. Here we go. Honey Nut Cheerios. Okay. So now we're in our Honey Nut Cheerios. Now, does Honey Nut Cheerios match what we just saw on regular Cheerios? Meaning, you still see the claim, you see, can help lower cholesterol on the Honey Nut Cheerios, right? We still have that claim. So now what's happening on the back of the box? What have they done with the Honey Nut Cheerios? Well, we still have the fiber at 1 gram. First of all, let me back up. They're leveraging the claim from 1997 on the Cheerios box. Just to put that in perspective, right? That's where this claim is coming from. 1997 is 2026. That's where the Honey Nut Cheerios can claim lower cholesterol. So yes, it has that 1 gram of soluble fiber, right? So for that claim, it's going to help lower LDL. It can help here. Remember what I had mentioned earlier. For cholesterol overall, you want LDL lower, so good. It's saying that we can do that. Now, in the regular Cheerios box, you also want HDL high and triglycerides low. So we look again at the fiber, sugar, and your saturated fat. I don't know why the last one is he's mentioning, but oh yeah, no, this is right. Oh, oof, 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 oof. I went too far. Here we go, girls. All right, so we're looking at here. When we look at this, what happened? Well, they kept a lot of the original recipe, and clearly it's made with the same oat base. That's clear. And that's what they got the patent or the claim probably through on, right? But they added an enormous amount of sugar. And that sugar works against your HDL and raises triglycerides instantly. So the claim that they're going to lower your cholesterol with the 1 gram of cellular fiber that's affecting your LDL is completely flipped upside down when you add 12 grams of sugar. But you don't have to say that to the FDA. You don't have to say I added 12 grams of sugar and I changed the product. It's still the base. That's where it gets really tricky. And that's where it almost can seem like kind of misleading, right? Because you think you're doing something good for your heart. Meanwhile, if you eat this every day for the rest of your life, you're slowly building an arterial plaque against your arteries. You don't want that, right? But that amount of sugar every single day. So the bottom line here is this claim really doesn't support cholesterol and heart health long term. Not this product. The Cheerios did. The Honey Nut, not so much. So it's a little kind of almost too easy in some ways. I will share with you guys. Like I said, I had a medical device in my portfolio, and we once were able to get a product, a new product, into the United States based on what we call a 510(k) in that world, in the device world. It's a 510(k), which is basically a certification that you pass certain tests and claims, etc. Um, we had a 510(k) from a product that was over 20 years old that was in the market, but this was a basically brand new version. No one had the old product, so I don't even know what it was. This was a brand new version of that old product. But we got it in the country on that old 510(k), quick approval, super quick approval, right in the US. Why? There was pressure for sales. Probably same thing that happened to Cheerios. Cheerios sales were probably stagnant. They needed a line extension or something to spike sales. They're like, let's throw some honey in it and call it Honey Nut Cheerios. Boom, bam, new market. This is how easily these things happen, and the pressure is on when you need sales. So there's no, I'm not pointing fingers here at all. I'm just going to say that because I have sat on the side of the desk where there is that pressure. You need to sell things, and you're not trying to mislead or cheat or deceive anyone. You just are aware that there's a shortcut available and everyone around you is using it. So what would stop you from using it as well, right? So put it in perspective. There's a lot out there. There's a lot out there. So it gets a little confusing in this package space, but there's more to it once we just understand the basics. And that's what I'm here for, is the basics. So I want to break down before we continue what it really means. When we say 12 grams of sugar, like what does it mean? 12 grams of sugar? Is it a lot? Is it a little? Is it not much? Let's just frame that, right? The American Heart Association says we should have, as women, 24 grams of added sugar, no more than that. That's the limit. So you have sugar in your diet. There's regular sugar. There's sugar that's coming in like a honey, etc. Added sugar is what we're talking about. So let's say you have your morning coffee. You want to put some creamer in there. You have yogurts are really sneaky here. Yogurts have a lot of added sugar if you're buying ones with fruit. I will always tell you, buy a plain yogurt and add your natural fruit to it. It's a heck of a lot. It's actually a whole lot different because the fruit that they're using is not pure fruit. It's packed with sugar, additional sugar. So that's another easy way that we're getting added sugar without really, really being aware. You could have a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios because you think you're going to help your cholesterol mid morning, and boom, 12 more grams. You can have a granola bar in the afternoon. Even these healthy ones have a lot of added sugar. And pasta sauce, little teaspoon of sugar here and there. You have a little bit on your pasta. Now let's put that in perspective. If I added up those, and let's say we're on the lower side, 36 grams of added sugar, if you did all that every day. Let's say we're just going to say that we're 24, we're 12 over that limit. So 12 grams of added sugar a day. Now multiply that times 365 and then times 10 years for an example. We have 43,800 grams of sugar in 10 years. This is the important part. What does that really mean? Okay. If there are 3,500 calories in a pound and 4 calories per gram of sugar, then if we have 43,800 grams of sugar, that's going to translate to about 50 pounds of fat over 10 years. So when we're saying like, hey, I'm not losing weight, well, I mean, we can look at sugar and say, is there a lot of sugar in your diet? Because that's an easy way where your weight will just not go anywhere. That sugar is huge over time. Yeah, it's a shocker. I know. And, it's a secret shocker because it's in a lot of things. Now a soda is 39 grams. I laugh a little bit because I just saw an ad for the Crumble dirty soda again. Now they are bold. Crumble is like, this is 186 grams of sugar. Go nuts. 186 grams of sugar. Your body has no idea what to do with that. It's just a freak. It's physiologically sending your body in such a mess. It's going to take you a while to come back. And that's the point, is we don't really need to send that blood sugar so high. So that's how easily we can overdo sugar and why it matters and why we want to look for it on the label. Now, sometimes it's not even the claim. Sometimes it's the brand and the claim. Here's another example. Blue Diamond Nut Thins. Blue Diamond Almonds is the brand. Nut Thins made with cheddar cheese. Excuse my computer. I think it's like freezing. So there's a video, but it's not playing, but that's okay. I'm going to try and skip or make it stop. Seemingly I can't. All right, we'll just pretend that that's moving. Anyway, point is, when you read Blue Diamond Almond Nut Thins, let me just ask this question. What do you think they're made of? Anybody? You can just think.
Cheese.
Okay.
Cheese. Made with cheddar cheese. That's what I see.
Yeah, cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese is a great answer. I personally when I look at it, I think nuts. It's Blue Diamond Almonds Nut Thins. Like, isn't this a nut-based product? Is it made of almonds? Cheddar cheese. Perfectly two good examples. So let's see. Is it made of really either one of these things? Okay, well, the primary ingredient is rice flour. So no, basically this is a box of rice flour. The second ingredient is almonds. Good. By the way, do you guys know the first ingredient means that's the most, it goes by volume when it lists on the ingredient list. So whatever is listed first, that's the most you're going to have of that, right? So as it goes down the list, it's less and less in the product. So we have rice flour, we have almonds, and we have cheddar cheese seasoning. Two different things.
So not even the cheese itself. Seasoning.
No.
Wow.
Seasoning. So to your point, Nani, real cheddar cheese is a complete protein. It has calcium, it's got vitamin A, D, zinc, linoleic acid. It's got all good things. Cheese is great for you. This doesn't have any of those things. Cheddar cheese seasoning is a trace amount of cheese-derived powder somewhere. It's so far down a processing plant chain, you've lost all the original nutrients from that milk. The milk, I don't know what happened. The milk is so far away from this product. So the truth is, like, it literally says on here, does not meet FDA standard of a, I apologize if you hear my ice cream man. He's outside. Do you hear that?
No.
Okay, good. Sorry.
Oh. No.
So it says here, does not meet FDA standard of a good source of protein. But ladies, do you know what is a good source of protein?
The nuts, the almonds.
Cheese, nuts, yeah, but cheese mostly. Cheese is a great source of protein. So you know right away, this is not using cheese. How can it be? Cheese, I just said, is a great source of protein. Cheese itself, because it's a complete protein. It's from an animal, complete protein. Yeah. So clearly you're paying for the name and a rice cracker that's seasoned with some very carefully engineered addictive chemicals that make it taste like cheese. That's it. So your taste buds, they think they're getting cheese, but your cells of your body and the physiological side is getting nothing out of this. It's just some flour. Crazy, right? All fair, all fine. There's nothing illegal here. No one's doing anything wrong. It's just about us as consumers knowing better, right? Knowing better than the angle that they want to put in perspective here. This is another example. It's a little different here. Annie's is not necessarily so bad in inside, but I want to caveat that. What is Annie's to all of us? Annie's built its entire identity. This brand is built on being like the alternative hippie brand. It's organic. There's the bunny that gives you a sign of approval. Like you're going to buy this, you're thinking you're getting wholesome, good food. It's the brand that, like, if you're a mom, you're definitely going to buy Annie's for your kids because, like, that's the best thing that you could do. That's the best decision you can make for your children, right? The problem is Annie's got acquired by General Mills in 2014. This is the same company running this as Cheerios. So we think we're buying Annie's and, a small mom and pop shop and, they really care about the food. It's good. No, Annie sold 2014. Did anybody tell you? Did they put something on the package that said, hey, we are no longer Annie? No.
No.
Oh, they ain't telling you that. They would never tell you that. They didn't change the bunny. They didn't change the peace signs. They didn't change the feeling that when you buy that, you trust it. They did not do any of that. But they added 600, almost 600 milligrams of sodium in this box. That's 26% of your daily sodium meat in one box. They replaced some things with fillers for sure. You have a lot more salt, sodium, and silicon dioxide in that product. Guaranteed when Annie's owned it back in 2013, you didn't have that. Now, let's talk about why this is. Because I don't want you to leave on down in the dump, right? That's how to get around this. But this is really it. This is the point. There's not really malicious intent. There's business principles. The food is an industry. It's an industry and it's a business. And so I think we just have to separate the two. And right now, over 70% of the US food supply is ultra processed. 70% of our food is ultra processed. I just want to give you guys a perspective. In Europe, it ranges because every country reports differently. Okay, so you have to put that in perspective. If we did it by state, it's the same here. Over there, it's different. In Europe, totally, 14 to 44% of their supply is ultra processed. So even at their highest country at 44%, America is at 70% ultra processed. The amount of processing in our diet and in our stores is not healthy. Now, moreover, in the grocery store, nearly 80% of regularly purchased items are from 5 companies: Kraft Heinz, General Mills, Conagra, Unilever, Del Monte. They control most of the supermarket. So think about it. This is business principles in all those foods. All those foods have the same business principles. It's not a coincidence that you have 80% of ownership and 70% processed food. That's not a coincidence. That's what they're about. They're about replacing, whole foods with cheap, convenient items. Not that that's bad. We need that. We live a fast life. It's about choosing what's best out there, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't really want any of these foods. We don't want the ultra processed foods. And I'm just going to be blunt and tell you why, right? Because the objective of those foods is to maximize profit. It has nothing to do with your health. It is maximize profit. So they're going to do things. They employ, right? They hire scientists, very smart scientists, to study in detail how to add the exact amounts of sugar, salt, and fat. And what they call that is the bliss point. And the bliss point is when it's the sweet spot that's just going to keep you eating. And why sugar, salt, fat? Cheap. Cheap and readily available ingredients. They are here in the United States, no import needed. Any time of day, they can get sugar, salt, and fat. And even more, they're not just adding more to the product. This is the scary part it's scary, especially as a yogi who we really understand the anatomy in the body. Your body is so beautifully designed, right? But we need to chew things. And when we chew them, it sends signals through our jaw that we're eating. And there's signals that you need to send into your body to send the satiety, I always say that word, fullness, to feel full, to basically stop eating, right? I'm full, I just stop eating. What they're doing, these companies, they've altered the chemical structure of sugar, salt, fat, right? What they're doing is making the product softer, so there's less chewing involved, so you bypass all those receptors that you're getting full. They make it easier to eat and digest, so it's much faster to consume, faster to go down. When you eat too fast, you override natural fullness signals. That's why a lot of people tell you, eat slow, eat slow. There's a reason for that. It's because the body is actually designed for that reason. It's designed in that way. And a lot of scientists studied it, so they tell you that for a reason. But big picture, that it's a scary incentive structure. So we just want to stay away from these foods. I want to give another example, two more, and then we'll move on from here, right? But the good Kashi Go. So Kashi is owned by Kellogg, not one of the big five, but a bigger food company. They're claiming 10 grams of protein, 10 grams of fiber. Okay. So we see here soluble fiber at 7 grams. Not bad. That's hitting your daily target for a woman, so that's great, right? 10 grams of protein. 10 grams protein, pretty good. I would go next level looking at sugar, right? We want to see the sugar. What do we got? 8 grams of added sugar. So that's a third of your daily limit. So before you even put the coffee creamer, your Kashi is already giving you 8 grams of additional sugar. So what's interesting, right, is the front of the box is telling you you've got protein, you've got fiber, 100%. But it will always skip the 8 grams of sugar that you're also getting. That is not good for you. And as much as you want the protein and the fiber, you don't want the 8 grams of sugar. The other stuff here, like chicory root fiber, that's a big, especially for people with gut sensitivity. That one is known to cause some sensitivities in the gut. That, canola oil is not the worst for you, not the best. There's just little things here that you could say, well, there's other ways to get protein and fiber. If you're on the go, not the worst, but something to be aware of if you're going to have this every day. This is not a good everyday item. Now, Mary was so kind to as well to give us some examples to use here as well today. So we have black chia seeds from Shiloh Farms. Excellent, excellent choice here, Mary, right? So why are we saying excellent choice? 152 calories. I don't really count calories, guys. I don't look at calories. We do what's in the food and how you feel. So fine for me. 12 grams dietary fiber. Very good. We don't have a detail on the soluble fiber, which is fine. We don't need that. Just know that there's good fiber. The good fiber is passing through the body. No sugar. We got protein. I'm going to talk a little bit about this, but this is really good protein. The previous slide, the protein was from soy flakes. Soy flakes. It's similar to, if we were looking back at the previous, cheddar cheese versus cheddar cheese. What was it called? What did they call that? I even forgot already.
It was like
Yeah, nothing.
nothings.
Yeah, but the cheddar cheese seasoning, they called it, right? Seasoning is the secret word there. In this one, you have soy flakes. What are soy flakes? Anyone know?
No.
Exactly.
Oh.
Something
And
that's
is it
not good.
I guess.
Something that isn't soy. It's a soy flake. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's not soy, right? Here you have chia seeds. This is the only ingredient in here is organic black chia seeds, right? There's no other ingredient, just one, chia seeds. The chia seeds themselves are all natural, a whole complete protein. I'll talk about what the amino acids mean. It's got healthy fat. Chia seeds are one of the best ratios of omega-3 to omega-6. So these are fantastic, very good healthy fat for you. Basically no sodium, you're organic. Guess what? There's no health claim. There's no health claim on this package. Why? You don't need one. It's not saying, right?
Yeah.
These are natural. This is a natural one. You can Google this any day. It'll tell you what does chia seeds do for you. It's going to be the same answer across the board. Now, we found a good organic version. I personally think this is a great brand. I Googled it myself, right? This is owned by Garden Spot Foods, if I have it right in my head. Garden Spot Foods, yeah, it's on the bottom there. And they're basically like a big regional distribution company. So no issues there. They're not really looking at it from a profit perspective. It's a consolidation. Meaning the manufacturer versus distributor. Distributor is looking to scale with many products, that's fine, but they're not touching what's inside the box. Manufacturer will touch what's inside the box. because they won't need to look at profit. So making sense so far?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, nice. So how, I want to leave you guys, right? What's something you can walk out today, use it tonight kind of skill? What's repeatable? What you could go in a store and do? Yes, you can go and grab an app, right? There's a couple apps you can download. I'll give you some perspective on that. But my principle and what I would like for all of you guys is never to have to rely on an app. Think about it. You're in the grocery store, you forgot your phone in the car. Are you seriously going to go back just to figure out which crackers to buy? I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. You're going to be way smarter than the app. Also, the app will never be personal enough. And what I see, it's good, it's directional, but what you can do on your own and simple, it's very simple once you see it, right? Once we see it, like we're seeing it here. Once you start seeing, you flip it over, you start reading the ingredients, you'll start realizing what's real, what's not. So look at the marketing claim that's claiming some kind of health benefit. Look at the actual numbers on the back. What is it saying? Is that really telling you the story? Look who owns it. Is it one of the big five? Because if it is, just stay away from the product. It's likely gone through some kind of a product change that was never disclosed. Number three, just read the ingredients and the whole label, right? We can almost skip what's on the front, go to the back. And honestly, just give yourself a little extra time and a little grace when you first start this, because you will spend more time in the store, maybe reading and discovering and learning things. But once you do learn, did I lose you guys on the speaker? I hit a button. No, still there? Still there.
Are you still here?
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Here too.
Okay, great. Hey, Ange. Oh, I didn't realize she's there. Wonderful. So yeah, so this is how we put it in practice. We got to read the labels. We got to understand. If I'm going to go to the next one, about ingredient level lens. Like if we're going to flip it over on the back and I'm saying, like, what are we looking for? This is it. We want the original form of whatever it's claiming. So if it's claiming you soy, but it says soy flakes, just put it back. It's still processed that you're not getting the nutrients we need. Again, we are in our 40s, 50s. Nutrients is critical right now. We need as much as we can. Complete protein. This is a very important little detail. It has to have 9 essential amino acids. I'm going to show you this in a few slides. This is not every protein. Not every protein is created equal. Okay? There's a lot of proteins out there that are claiming plant-based, this, that. They don't have what you need to build muscle. No inflammatory seed oils. There's a list there. So I would stay away from any of those. Canola oils, okay. But I try and stay away from these. Olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, always go to. And inflammatory ingredients, any added sugars, any refined grains, sweeteners. Basically this one, if you can't say it, meaning you can't pronounce the word on the box, or you have no idea what the word is, and you don't know what it is, don't buy it. If you don't even know what it is, right, why would you buy it? It's probably something that's me. Also, something to look out for, ladies, that's coming very hot right now is lab grown. So even your chocolates, your favorite chocolates, Kit Kat, Lindt, Cadbury, Kinder, Reese's, and M&M's, all invested in lab grown cacao. So watch those because they will start to change. So what's really happening? What's happening, ladies? We get stuck in this cycle. We think we're eating healthy. We get these products that are hidden, right? There's things hidden behind them that we weren't aware of. What happens then? Your blood sugar is going to spike. Then you feel puffy. You feel inflamed. You feel tired. So what do? Well, you work out harder. I'm going to eat less. I'm going to sleep less. My stress is going to increase because I'm going a mile a minute. My cortisol is now rising. Whole thing repeats, and you never lose weight. You're probably going to be gaining weight during this process because the cycle, it's a stuck cycle that the body's in. So we want to try and detox it. We want to try and get away from that. So what's the solution? I don't want to leave you here with all doom and gloom, right? We go to the store. We go to the grocery store. We've heard this before. Stay on the outskirts as much as we can. It's the 80-20. This is my coaching philosophy. This is really it. The solution is whole foods and a balanced plate. You want to have more energy? You want to prevent or manage through disease? You want to manage through menopause? Yay. You want to feel better in the mirror. You want to chase your kids for the next 20 years. And you want to chase your grandkids after that. It starts here. It starts here with the 3 Ps. Let's break each one down. I'm going to give you guys, and there's freebies that will come in your email box after this. There's just some notes there that what's coming to you. Let's start first with portion. Not just let's break this ice barrier here. This is not about restricting. This isn't about, oh, I can only have this much in this plate. Not at all. There is no restriction. We need to start fueling our bodies with a balanced meal. This is what it's about. This is about the right mix of minerals, vitamins, and those essential amino acids so that we can produce an efficient body. We want our metabolic health to be good. We want our bodies to be working like an efficient machine. If you want to double the recommended quality on all this stuff, quantity, excuse me, double it. I don't care. Triple it. You'll probably be really full, but that's not this the meaning is that's not the point of this, right? It's not about restricting. It's to support holistically. We need our 4 food groups. You need fats. Fats make you feel full. Fats support your hormones. So imagine all the ladies that are avoiding fat and their hormones are raging. Fat is what you need. I take a scoop of peanut butter. Yep, give me that. We need to feed the body with fat. It's that we're afraid that we're going to get fat, right? Well, that's probably the sugar. Don't blame the fat for what the sugar's doing to you, right? We need healthy fats in our diet. We need carbs. 20% of your plate should be around carbs. Why? Because they feed our brain. You need that. You need to keep your blood sugar steady and you need your brain to have power. We need protein. Protein should be the anchor on our plate. Protein's going to help you rebuild, repair the muscle, and basically like just keep your energy somewhat stable during the day. That protein's going to help you do that because it's stopping the blood sugar spike. And lastly, most of your plate should be around vegetables because they're going to have the fiber, the color, all those nutrients, all those vitamins. You're going to get a lot of it from the vegetable. So there's how we want to look at, we want 4 food groups on every plate. Because we want that balanced plate, that balanced meal going in the body, right? So we don't want to skip. I don't want to skip carbs and fat on every meal. I just don't want to eat protein and vegetables. Obviously, you're going to have some olive oil on there. Great. That's your fat, maybe a little slice of avocado. Put a little carb. Don't be afraid of a carb. I have lots of guides on this. There's a portion guide. It has a whole list of these 4, right? The second page of my portion guide, which I'll give to you guys, is second page is 4 of these columns, all ideas. You mix and match these. And basically, that's how simple it can be. And it's as simple as your hand. We don't need to count calories. We need protein to be about the size of our palm. You make this is about the size of the vegetables on your plate. It's just about rationalizing to a somewhat good mix. We don't need perfection. This is just a framework, and this is what works. It works every time. It works for every client. Now, I told you I would talk to you a little bit about protein. In protein, what is critical in protein is the amino acids. Now, in our body, there are hundreds of amino acids, out there, right? There are lots of amino acids. There are essential and they're non-essential. Those are the 2 types. There are 9 essential. 9 essential, our bodies cannot make. We must get them from our diet. The non-essential, not 9 essential. Non-essential, our bodies can make them. So from basic food. So we can make them pretty much with a basic diet. Your essential ones need to come from your food. So this is where quality protein really matters. Like soy flakes don't count here. It has to be whole quality protein for it to count. And this is just in case anyone on the line is plant-based. It's not impossible. It's just a little bit more difficult. You have to try a little bit more. And the problem with a little bit of the challenge with plant-based protein sources is they are also carbs, right? So you're going back to the plate. We don't really want half my plate to be carbs. But in the case of plant-based eaters, it's a very challenging one. So that's just something to consider. Animal-based is a lot more straightforward because it's gonna be easier for you to find options. It's not impossible. This is also where for plant-based eaters you can mix and match. You can take 2 protein bases to get all your 9 essentials. So it's possible. We just have to try a little bit more effort. Most importantly, to recognize you need all 9 amino acids or you need to look for a complete protein source. Third, and this is probably the biggest one, right? This is the biggest disruptor to our diets, processed foods. Now, this is the technical classification. There are four: minimally and naturally, well, basically natural foods or whole foods and minerally processed. Maybe they're slightly altered from their original, like they're pulled off the vine. If it's a tomato, that's technically like not on the vine. This is what you want most of your diet to be based around. 80% of the diet base here. Processed ingredients is the second category. So like your olive oil, your butter, etc. Use those, but use good quality. So, right, we're going to try to get grass-fed butter. Now it's, trying just to change the quality as much as you can. Processed, ultra processed, between us, just stay away from them. Processed every now and then, this is the one where, like, if you're on the go, you might need something. So choose the cleanest, shortest ingredient list. Always flip it to the ingredient. Again, shortest list, least amount of ingredients, best options for us. A lot of times, the more healthier packaging will say on the front, only 2 ingredients. Those are good. Those are good signals to you. I'm going to look for stuff like that. Our chia seeds, 1 ingredient. Perfect. We want that. Make sense? Yeah. So consistency, right? It's all about consistency because none of this is really happening on a perfection level. It's just impossible. We live our lives. We're normal people that have kids and things going on and everything like that, right? So it's not about how much you should eat. It's like if we're eating good foods that are nutrient and dense food, it's going to be about how you feel. If you're hungry, eat something, but eat a balanced thing. If you're not hungry, don't eat. That's where we use a hunger guide. And honestly, this is where the portion awareness kind of comes into play, right? We don't need to count calories. We just need to look. Do we have all of our nutrients on the plate? And if we're full, great. If we want more, eat more. As long as it's healthy and good for you, right? Eat. That's one thing that we can't be afraid of. So, ladies, I didn't even realize the time, so this is really good. We've had a lot of a conversation here. Before we get into questions, I want to share a little bit with you about, I understand too that some of this does get overwhelming and it's confusing. I do offer a group coaching program where I teach all this inside of it. It's a high touch group coaching program. It's group, but it's basically individual. We focus on everything we just talked about, my 3 Ps. I focus on you upload into the app pictures of your meals. I focus on giving you feedback. How can we improve the meals? Small, tiny shifts. What's on there that we might be concerned about? What can we do? I work on movement with you. Everybody in my program gets a heart rate monitor and a Bluetooth scale. So we really understand metrics from the beginning. And then we work with your heart rate to determine the best and most efficient way to move your body. We work on stress regulation. I'm a yoga instructor as well, do a lot of breath work, meditation. And it's real accountability and real structure. It's not the kind of thing where I'm going to give you a diet or a meal plan. We're going to build it together. This is something where after these 6 weeks, this is about you then taking this for the rest of your life. I don't want you back as a customer in that regard. I want to see you grow and learn and then take your health where you want to go because that's what it is. Health is really something in an individual level. Big picture in the program, it's 7 total weeks. Week 0, I call 0 as our onboarding week. It's just a chance. You got to get the app. You got to get your equipment delivered to the house. That ranges a couple of days here and there. So we get everybody set up. We establish some baseline. Every week you hear from me in the app, both in the group messaging. We do group calls. I have 3 of those during the 6 weeks. I'm basically there to hold your hand, but also hold you accountable because you want to get to this next version of yourself. You're doing right. You're trying to eat well. You're going to the gym, the studio, wherever you are outside, doesn't matter. You're moving the body and you're not seeing the results, right? So there's a person of you want to be. My job is to get you from this person to that person because you can. There's no doubt in my mind you can get there. Just a little bit of support. And the data helps keep us on track so we know what we're working with and we know we're rebuilding sustainable habits. So this is like something that you'll take all the guessing away, all the Googling, and you will not need to work with ChatGPT to build you a meal plan. That will backfire. I've seen it happen, but it's interesting. We'll be working together. So that's what this program is all about. And honestly, women just feel different. That's the biggest change that I keep hearing. They feel their energy is steadier and inflammation has gone down. Most importantly, like the women that I hear from, they're empowered. And I just said this to you, that is my whole goal, is to empower women. Uh, Women buy most of the groceries for the whole household. I just wrapped up a client just before this, just an hour ago, huh? And she's a lovely woman. She's a bit older, 57 now. So she's 57. Her husband has lost 10 pounds. We just wrapped up together, right? So her husband has joined her on this journey, has lost 10 pounds. Her daughter now is going to Pilates class with her. And so what you've seen is like when women are empowered to make good decisions and just it's not that she didn't think or she thought she was making bad decisions before. She just wasn't aware. And it was just bringing that awareness to make some small shifts. Her body started responding. She actually had a surgery that she went through and still lost weight. It wasn't able to exercise for 3 weeks, still lost weight. So there's a lot that can be done. And what they really feel is that just knowing what it is, having an understanding of education and that baseline just helps you feel that much more confident. And by the way, none of these women are women who lacked any kind of discipline. They go-getters, capable of, doing everything for the family, the work, etc. That's not a problem. They just needed clarity. They needed consistency and they needed a little bit of support. So that's what you get with me is the 7 weeks of the group coaching, personal support. As we mentioned, all the accountability in the app. Just for today, we're going to break this down to even give you guys a discount for 1,600 today. Now I'm doing that because this is a special group, and I know that we're doing have this call today, and this might have sparked some real desire for you to go further in your health journey, and that's what I'm here for. But we have until Monday, so I'm putting this out. There's a special code on the program. I'm going to send you guys a link afterwards as well. You can explore there. And in the program, as I mentioned, those 6 weeks, you'll have until Monday to decide if you really want to do it. I'm also going to do a 30-minute private coaching call before we begin. So it's additional coaching call. And what I find that is mostly for is like sometimes it's a lot of nervous system work. That we have to do. That sometimes it's our nervous system getting in the way for our bodies to accept change. And so sometimes just understanding that where we are in our lives can help a lot when we're in a goal of reaching a certain health goal or just overall taking back ownership of our health. So I know there's no time like the present, but I also know that you need time. People need time to take decisions. So if you are ready to enroll, feel free. But if not, there's a QR code on the screen. Just scan it maybe and just keep it on the side if you want to keep it handy. That's the link to my Calendly, which basically is the link to my calendar. So at any point in time, if you want to grab a coffee together, if you have some questions, or if you just want to chat, I'm always open to it. I love to chat, clearly. That's probably too much. Then just a reminder, some of these important dates are coming up. Monday, we'll keep this open for the weekend to join in the group until Monday. The enrollment closes for the group next Sunday, the 28th. We begin onboarding on Monday, the 29th. Then that week is 4th of July week, so we'll actually begin coaching on July 6th. So you'll have one last holiday weekend in there, and then we really get into the coaching. But I have to say, I've coached through Easter weekend, through Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is an interesting one. There's a lot of food involved in Thanksgiving. But, all of my clients have lost weight during holidays or at least maintained because we know the decisions now. They know the smart decisions to make. So it becomes a lot easier. All right, ladies, what did we learn? First of all, we want to choose quality whole foods over packaged items wherever we can. Now, if we have to choose packaged items, of course we do. We can apply these 3 principles. 1, check the claim on the front of the box. Don't take it for face value. Check the numbers, right? Let's make sure that that claim is telling you what it's telling you. 2nd, look at who owns it. Just make sure that we didn't lose something in the mix and you need to rethink about the product. It could be a product you're using 20 years, been using for 20 years and not realize it. So it's a good chance to check. The third thing is look at the ingredients, right? Ingredients. Make sure it's a low list of ingredients, clean list. And lastly, you don't have to do this alone. You're not alone. I had to do this. I had to go through it myself because of my job and everything else. That I had a back surgery and had to figure out how to get through that, right? And I was kind of forced into this, but I'm grateful because my health markers are all up and I feel great, right? So now it's about how do you help others feel great? We should all be out there feeling great. So let's do this together. And that's really all I got, but I do realize I went a little over time, so I apologize for that, ladies, and thank you for your patience. Did you have any questions? Did any of this surprise you? Or did you find something in your pantry, maybe?
No, it was good to. I don't think I ever took that into consideration that the first ingredient on the box is the one that is, I guess, the most in that product.
Yes.
But that's so weird. So that's soy flakes.
Yeah.
How can that be? Wow. Yeah. So
It's technically not mine because it's soy, right? It's
yeah,
it's
but
just processed soy. So by the
boy,
time you get it to a flake, it's just that we need to understand that by the time it gets to the flake, it's lost a lot of its nutritional value,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And why are we eating? Why do we eat, ladies?
Yeah.
Nutrition. We have nutrient value. We need nutrients to make the body keep going. We need to eat so we can keep up with our lives, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll be sleeping and hibernating like the bears. So, yeah. Anything else might have surprised you guys or find interesting? I mean, that's a big one too. Okay. Well, listen, if things do surprise you, or if you hang up the call and you see something in the closet there, if you want to send it to me, I'm all for it. So please know that you guys we've made a connection. We're friends, so feel free to reach out anytime. I certainly would love to see how you can take some of these changes, see how you feel, or even let me know what you discover. I'd also be extremely honored to coach you through these shifts and ensure you reach your goals if that's what you're looking to do. So just to let you know, it takes 21 days to form a new habit and 66 to make it sustainable. If you give me 42, you'll be well on your way. So thank you, ladies. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions, thoughts? We're good. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it. And we'll
you.
send you the link.
Have a good night.
You too. Thank you so much.